Alright, and welcome back guys and girls. So people are asking about my views on the Tru3ta1ent and Scott Junn drama that has been happening over the last week. Hear my opinions on it, stay tuned guys. Alright, so let me give you a recollection of what's happened to get an understanding of what's going on and trying to figure out how it's come to this. If you were coming here expecting me to take sides or to shit on one of the content creators, then you have definitely come to the wrong place. I have a lot of respect for different content creators, but mistakes have happened and still continue to happen, and mistakes are still happening and other content creators are being dragged in now. It's just one big mess. It's not helped by the community, and to be quite honest, I've seen some disgusting messages and comments on Twitter. Twitter at the minute seems to be a pit of hate where people think it's okay to just say whatever to whoever and it's going to be acceptable. It's really not, guys and girls, so please don't be that person. Alright, so whilst I'm writing this down, I'm trying to figure out things what keep popping in my head, things like motives. Generally when someone does something, there's an input and output and an expected end result. So I'll refer to this slightly in the discussion itself. Let's get into this. So Scott Junn made a video called now Tru3ta1ent about Tru3ta1ent that he thinks Swifts should be nerfed. Scott does this is what his channel's about, calling things out, discussing his opinions and thoughts, and he's built a strong community in the back of this. In this video, he did however analyse a few Tru games and said that he played like shit, and that's why he lost. Not because there were Swifts, and he did actually rightly point out that a lot of variables in the game regarding killer maps, shit games, etc, etc. He actually asked for a live debate, but the key point in this is he did say you can tell me to fuck off, and I think deep down Scott expected this wouldn't happen, so the desired result Scott wanted would have been the debate with Tru. Tru responded in his stream and he felt that Scott personally attacked him. Now I'm a fan of Tru, I do enjoy his videos, but it's difficult for me to emphasise because I'm not in his position. He is a large content creator and he is very opinionated and he does have a lot of unpopular opinions. That is fine, that's his appeal. I actually think Scott is the same. I've went on record and said this is what I like about both guys. People shouldn't be shit on for having an opinion regardless of what you think, but Tru does sometimes not react the best to criticism, and I see this on his streams and videos. He can be very dismissive, however you know what, you don't have to listen to him. You don't have to watch him, there's hundreds of DBD content creators out there, but the community gets itself in a bit of a twist. How dare he say this, how dare he say that, they're stupid if they think this. Constructive criticism is fine, but being a straight arsehole isn't. Now I fully believe that as a big content creator, both Scott and Tru have to be answerable to things. For example, Tru3ta1ent had the live debate. It was great to see. I would have loved to hear Scott and Tru have a debate, and this is not me telling them what to do, but as a viewer of both, this is something that would have interested me. So you can't accept all the love and admiration when you get big, but react so badly to criticism because that's a platform you've built, and they are both quite influential in the whole DBD community. I'm not going to say, oh, they force their supporters to be twats, because that's unfair and it's out of their control, but they do hold sway and influence thoughts and minds. Now, I know everyone's going to be going, is he just called us sheep? That's not my intention. However, they do influence you, because I'll watch them and be like, yeah, they've made a good point there, I never thought of that. I watch and hear Tru say something, I'll be like, oh, I never thought of that. Likewise with Scott. Anyway, Tru did seem to take it as a personal attack, and he vented this over Twitter and his stream. Now, at the time, I believe Tru had a few cockwombles basically coming in and being shit. Now, is that the content creator's fault? It's a tough one. They influence. But are you going to get dicks in every walk of life? Of course you are. Tru probably spent most of that day reeling off what he felt was a personal attack, but he had to split that up from what Scott had actually said. Now this is where things get tasty. There was a lot of backwards and forwards, and Tru then done a video trying to debunk Scott's counter to Spirit argument. You could sense some spite there in the wording. I'm saying wording, maybe not the wording as such, but the intent. So Tru said things like self-proclaimed great spirit about Scott, and in the tone did come across as a bit of a dig. So was that different to what Scott said about Tru playing like shit? For me, and this is my opinion only, there were some choice words and tones used by both of them that haven't helped the situation. Scott replied to this with another video, but the damage was already being done on Twitter. Scott put a tweet up with part of Tru's stream where he didn't say he was necessarily disrespecting disabled, but Tru did put a voice on, and to be honest, I didn't even think anything of it. but this picked up traction. Jen Denise, who is Scott Junn's fiance, was actually the one that brought up the disabled comments about Tru. Now, this suddenly turned things around and Tru came out fighting with this, and lots of tweets were fired, and to be quite honest, it was disgusting seeing the things that have been said by some people in this community about everyone involved. I'm taking the streamers out of this, by the way, guys. This is not an attack on Tru or Scott, but it's by the general community. Anyway, last night Tru was removed from the Fog Whispers programme because of the voice that he done when a viewer disagreed with him. Scott has come straight out and said he didn't agree with this decision, and Jen Denise released an apology about the whole situation and actually tried to take ownership of it, and now Tru is demanding an apology from Scott in the form of a video. I'm a bit unclear about the motives behind that, whether that be for leverage to get back as a Fog Whisperer or for his own personal reasons. I'm unsure why it would be specifically a video, however Tru has tweeted that it's to stop Scott's viewers going on, so fair enough. However, he is now tweeting about Morph, a different content creator who's been derogatory towards Tru. There are clips of Morph taking the piss out of Tru and another streamer called Tilt basically imitating Tru. Now, in my opinion, this is wrong. However, one thing I will add is people in public figure get all sorts of satire and abuse. However, this doesn't make it right. At the end of the day, there's two human beings at the end of both arguments with this, and it is going to affect them. Now, enter other content creators. So we've had Space Coconut and Mr. Gims. Again, two content creators that I watch. Might not agree with everything they say or do, but that's my choice to watch them, and I can sit there and disagree or agree with sometimes what they have to say. Now, what they have to say do divide opinions, but that's their thing. Now, Mr. Gims has clearly sided with Tru, and Space Coconut released a video too. Just in case you think I'm leaving out people for bias reasons, Rosie as well has spoken about the matter. Unfortunately, you got to remember that these guys have had run-ins previously with the people that are making videos about. What's the word really? It's not attacking, but voicing their opinions. So Mr. Gims had an issue with Morph before, who is now seen to be part of the entitled elite. Space Coconut had a run-in with Jen Denise and Scott, and Rosie has had many a run-in with Scott. Are they really impartial to this? I'm not so sure, but these guys have obviously seen something they don't like and spoke up about it. And that again is a prerogative, because their platform is built about opinions, and that's why I follow those guys. And Rosie, he's been ever present in series 2 of my podcast, and even got the opportunity to speak to Scott in that podcast about their differences of opinions. Tru did show a message that said to take things to DM, however this wasn't taken, and I think this is something that Scott maybe should have taken up and resolved it over DM. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, guys. They might not have agreed, but it would have not been out there in the public eye, not led to this shit show that has happened after. Now, Tru is pushing Mr. Gims' video about the entitled elite, and to be honest, I don't really like this aspect, because by the looks of it, there are plenty of people in the entitled elite group. I think there's 22, I got told, and they're all humans who have their own minds and can do what they want. Do I agree with certain people taking the piss out of Tru3ta1ent? Not at all. Again, I'm on record numerous times when people have a pop at Tru, and I'm like, this is his player style. This is what he says. This is what he wants. This is his narrative. If we don't agree, we shouldn't shit on the guy for it. It's not often when I go to forums and social media that I see many good things about his ideas. He is shit on a lot in the community, and that surely affects the way he acts and thinks. But remember, guys, there's an option for us. We either click on that video, subscribe to the channel, listen, agree or disagree, but the internet unfortunately is a harsh place. Now, you're going to ask, okay, who do I think is in the right and who do I think is in the wrong? This is my honest opinion, guys, and one that I've had to write down, reread, be careful what I say and think, what will people think? And then I thought, fuck it, you asked me, so here's my thoughts. I don't think the first video Scott done was bad. Few choice words and maybe the language was not appropriate or the tone and what he wanted to achieve, but ultimately his motives are he wanted to debate with Tru. It's clear that Tru didn't want to debate, and that's his choice as well and his actions. However, I do believe that healthy debates are great, and why not discuss this with other content creators? I send invites out to lots of content creators, and most of the time I'm ignored. Yes, I'm an extremely small content creator, but I do content based on what I would want to watch, and look at the numbers, for example, from the Tru versus Ott debate. So clearly people want the debate happen for the dramas, of course, but also to see these two big content creators speak their thoughts. If you are a popular influencer community, What is wrong with debating your thoughts and opinions and maybe having others change it? But more importantly, not just change it, but give their thoughts. I have been shit on sometimes after the podcast and people are like, oh, he only has this many hours, or look at the rank or whatever. And I always say anyone is entitled to their own opinion, and this is a problem with the Dead by Daylight community. We are very quick to shit on people and dismiss their thoughts and opinions as nobodies, but ultimately they are paying customers, and whether they've been around for 1 week or 4 years, why not listen to their issues? Help them through it, even acknowledge their existence in the community instead of completely dismissing people. I'm pretty sure both Tru and Scott won't watch this or get to see this video. However, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes as well. I really admire Tru's work ethics. I mean, man, there's video after video after video on YouTube. You can't avoid the guy. He streams every day. He could have had commitments and been too busy to debate. Jen's tweet, I think they live together, Jen and Scott. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of communication that isn't broadcast on Twitter or YouTube. Maybe Scott didn't agree with her tweet. He doesn't own her. She has a free mind of her own to do what she wants. He might have went crazy after she tweeted that. We don't know. But what I do know, he's going to stick up for her in public, which seems to have blown people's mind. Pretty much the same as Kat, Tru's girlfriend, is sticking up for Tru. What we actually expecting to happen? Are we expecting them to air the laundry in public? That shouldn't be happening, guys. Now, people can be arseholes, and even after Jen tweeted an apology, people were tweeting things, and whatever you think of her, Scott or Tru, in what life is it acceptable to call people disgusting human beings? And generally, it's physically sick seeing these tweets. People make mistakes, guys, and for me, there is mistakes on all sides here. I'm sure they will admit that eventually. I might get hate for this video from one or the other, the communities, but remember, guys, I'm human. I'll read the comments, and I really don't mind people disagreeing, but don't be a cockwomble about it. Be respectful, and I will be respectful back. The witch hunt is now switching to Morph. I don't know Morph, never watched anything except Mr. Gims is running with him. Does he come across as unpleasant in those videos? Yes, extremely so. Because I've watched that one video, will I make judgment? Yes, I probably have. I'm only human myself. But will I then go out my way to harass a guy and shit in his streams? No. I've never checked the guy out, and it's probably for the reason that I seen the Mr. Gims video. But that's a failing on my behalf. I could go to the guy's stream and see, man, shit, he's just had a bad day when he spoke to Mr. Gims. He might personally revel in taking the piss out of people. That's up to him, and personally, that's not my scene. Now, this entitled delete, I couldn't even tell you who was in the group, but it is fair that they are now smeared by association. Remember, guys, this is online, you don't know what's going on in real life, so just be kind. I'm going to throw a plug in, not that he actually needs it, for Dylan KG. He released a video yesterday, and honestly, every time I watch his videos, I'm more and more impressed with the guy. He's such a genuinely nice guy, and more people like him are needed in the community. Watch his last video about empathy, it is so true. Like I said, guys, this video probably will not reach far and wide and won't be seen by Scott or Tru and the rest, but hang in there, guys. Let bygones be bygones, everything happens for a reason, and more importantly, learn from the mistakes you made. I made one last night. I actually messaged Scott. Admittedly, this was before seeing Jen's tweet and Tru's removal from the Fog Whisperer program, and I was like, do you want to come on the podcast this Sunday? In hindsight, it was very insensitive of me in light of things that have happened, and the timing was all wrong. So again, I apologise for that, Scott, but it showed that mistakes can happen. We all mess up somewhere, some of us more than others, but we can't keep beating people with a stick. I mean, I don't know what more we expect of the people involved. Egos and prides have been shattered, and we just have to move on, and time will heal things. Do I believe that Tru's removal as a Frog Whisperer is good? Of course not. I think Behaviour have got this one wrong, and it's clearly affected Tru. I know that was probably an accomplishment, and probably one that he feels has been ripped away from him, especially when I don't think what he said was wrong. He did confirm the dev said this was cause of the voice he put on, and it's so stupid. However, I'm not in a position to say it's fine. Me personally, I'm not affected by people with disability or have a disability myself, but others might have been offended by it, we just don't know. Do I think Scott and Jen deserve to be called disgusting human beings? No, it's unbelievable in this day and age that people are okay with writing this. Do I believe we should be ganging up now on other content creators and applying the same cancel culture on them that Scott Jund has been accused of? It seems pretty hypocritical if we do, guys. The entitled elite might consist of a few streamers who aren't nice people, but there will probably be generally nice people there. And I have seen people putting out tweets saying, stop targeting me, you know, I'm part of this group, but nothing to do with it. The hate mob is out already, and I have to say both Tru and Scott have had a little input in this. And I think on reflection and time, when the dust settles, they'll probably both agree that it could have handled things better. We'll wait and see on that one. Wouldn't it be great if this hatchet was buried and it can overcome the difference of opinions and feelings? I mean, technically, there is a term called living in someone's head rent-free, and I say to both, don't fall in that category. The irony has been noted, guys, that I might be seen to be stoking up the drama with this video, and my community are asking for a podcast on Sunday about the topic, which I'm happy to oblige with. This won't be one-sided though, guys. We have people on the podcast who are Team Tru, and we have some people who are on Scott Junn's team. It's all about listening and then refuting or agreeing in a civil matter, and I really hope that others do the same and draw a line under this and move on. Like I said, guys, feel free to agree, feel free to disagree, feel free to like, feel free to dislike. I welcome any feedback and thought, but as always, guys, keep it respectful. I've said it before, if you just come on and talk shit about a content creator, then I probably won't engage in that shit. So don't be a dick saying things like, oh, he needs to go outside more, or he's a tosser, or she is this, she is that. Hope that all makes sense, guys, and wasn't just a bunch of rambling. Till the next time, guys, bye bye.